If you have struggled to overcome your anger, today I am going to talk about one of the biggest reasons that you can't let go of your anger and what you can do to overcome it. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Cody Mitz. I'm a licensed professional counselor and I specialize in anger management counseling. And today I'm going to talk about one of the biggest reasons that you're struggling with anger or that you can't seem to let go of or move past a problem with anger. Now, the biggest thing that's going to hold you back is the problem of blaming. Now, the reason that I say this is going to be one of the biggest problems that you're going to have is that blaming is extremely common. As a counselor, I work with people day in and day out who come into my office and really want to get better, really want to improve their anger, but they're stuck. They can't seem to move past it because they're in this pattern, they're in this habit of blaming. You're blaming other people for what happened to you, and I'm going to talk about why that's such a problem and why we really need to change this pattern. Now, the biggest reason that blaming is going to be one of the big obstacles is because you're giving your power over to someone else. And what I mean is you're giving someone else the power to control your emotions. So if you say things like, oh, my wife makes me so mad when she does this, or my kids make me so mad when they do this, what you're doing is you're giving those people the power to control your emotions for you. And again, it's one of the reasons that you're stuck with this emotion of anger is because everything around you has the power to control how you feel and how you act or respond in response to this emotion of anger. So ask yourself if you've ever fallen into this situation. I have people come into my office regularly and they say things like, I'm struggling with anger because my wife does something that I just can't stand. Or they say, I just can't stand when people in traffic cut me off, do things that are unsafe, and so I want to do something about it. I want to let them know how angry they made me. If you've ever felt yourself making those kinds of statements, I want you to stop and think, why am I giving those people that kind of power in my life? Why am I giving those people that kind of control over my emotions? Because we make statements like, they make me so mad when they do this. But the real problem there is, can anyone really make you feel a certain way? Can anyone force you to feel a certain emotion? So I think it's really important that you start to think about, well, people might do something I don't like, people might respond or behave in a way that I don't really care for, but they really can't force me to feel a certain way. They can't force me to feel angry. They can't make me mad. They can do things that I don't like, but what we need to work on, what we need to start to change is realizing I have the power to control how I feel in response to that, or I have the power to control how I behave. So the challenge here is going to be really changing that pattern or that automatic habit that you have where you might want to say, well, someone else did this, so I'm angry. Now, the goal of good anger management is taking back control. It's about taking back your power so that you can control how you act, how you think, how you feel. And so by blaming other people, again, you're giving away that power. So good anger management is really about taking back that power or taking back that control. So the very first thing I want you to start thinking about is, how do I take ownership? How do I become responsible for the things that I say and the things that I do? Because no one else can force me to act a certain way. No one else can force me to think or feel a certain emotion. So how do I take back that power? How do I take back that control? And maybe start thinking about, how have I given away that power to other people? If you really look at it, you've given away power to, again, your kids, your partner, your spouse, your family, your coworkers. You're just handing out power to everyone around you, and they really have the control over how you feel on a regular basis. So the way that you can take back your power is by taking responsibility for your own emotions. So you take responsibility, again, by separating out the idea that someone might do something that you don't like, but you are responsible for how you respond. So no matter what someone says to me, no matter what someone does to me, even if someone cuts me off in traffic, and I hate it when they do that, I can't control what they do. And if I get upset in that type of a situation, I'm giving that person time and energy in my life, and I don't even know who they are. Most likely, I'm never gonna see that person again in my life. So I always ask myself, is it worth giving the time and the energy to this emotion right now for someone who I don't know and I'm never gonna see ever again? So taking responsibility is gonna be the work, it's gonna be the thing that's gonna change how anger functions in your life. If you take responsibility for it, then you have the power to control it. You have the power to determine how angry you get. You can determine when this emotion comes on, and you're gonna be able to deal with it in a much more healthy and effective way. Now it's gonna require some practice, so I don't believe that it's just gonna be a quick overnight change. It's gonna require repetition, because we're trying to change our thinking pattern. And changing your thinking pattern is gonna require some practice. So you're gonna have to continually and consistently start to change that habit, change that immediate response that you feel to want to point the finger at someone else and say, well, they did this, so I got angry. So it's gonna take some practice to begin changing that habit, but through repetition, if you continue to do it on a regular basis, start to notice when you're getting angry and think to yourself, am I going to give away my power? Am I going to give away my control right now? And is it worth it? Maybe it's not worth the time and the energy that it's going to take. So taking back that power and taking responsibility for your own emotions, your own anger, is going to make a huge impact in how the emotion of anger functions in your life. Now, I would love to hear from you. So in the comments down below, tell me, how is it that you tend to give up your power of anger? And let me know, what are some of the challenges that you're running into as you're working on changing this part of your life? Now, if you enjoyed this video, hope that you'll subscribe to get more of our great videos as they come out. If you enjoyed what you heard here, we hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.